Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Gwen Jacobsen, and I'm one of many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 12, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at nactv@wcgwave.ca. I'd like to say shout out a hello to John and Leslie from Edmonton, who I know are watching today. Today's edition of the Neepawa Banner and Press is dated Friday, December 4th, 2020. There's a big picture on the front page. Every day is a great day for hockey. A pair of hockey players took advantage of some relatively mild weather over the weekend to hit the ice on Minnedosa Lake. A portion of the lake has been sectioned off for ice skating, with many of the locals looking for a way to get out of the house and enjoy a little bit of winter. Fines for breaking COVID-19 rules continue to climb. The fines keep on coming for individuals and businesses that are not following the Manitoba government's COVID-19 enforcement rules. In total, 202 warnings and 100 tickets were issued between November 23rd and 29th. Those results are up slightly from the previous week when 79 warnings and 95 tickets were issued. This week's results include 22 $5,000 tickets to business and 48 $1,296 tickets to individuals. There were also 23 failure to wear a mask fines levied at $298 each, and 7 banned bylaw tickets were also issued by the Manitoba First Nations Police Service. A total of $181,574 in fines were issued last week, up from $126,082 the week prior. Since enforcement's efforts began back in April, a total of 663 warnings and 353 tickets have been issued, resulting in more than $549,846 in fines to businesses and individuals. Current public health orders restrict gatherings and limit group sizes, set out the distance individuals are required to observe from one another, and require businesses to ensure their customers are able to maintain the required separation. Manitobans can report compliance and enforcement issues by calling 204-945-3744 or toll free at 1-866-626-4862 and pressing option 3 on the call menu. Over the course of a recent 7-day period from Thursday, November 26th to Wednesday, December 2nd, there have been 88 new COVID-19 cases reported within the Prairie Mountain Health Region. Last week, there were 127 new cases reported over the course of 7 days. The total cases in Prairie Mountain are 1,056, with 730 of those recovered, 308 currently active, and 18 deaths. Brandon has the most active cases as of Wednesday, December the 2nd at 128. Whitemud, meanwhile, which encompasses Neepawa and surrounding communities, has an active count of 22. The Winnipeg region currently has the most active COVID-19 cases with 6,688, while Southern Health Santé Sioux is second with 1,048. The next article is titled, "A Deal of Equal Opportunity." Much like Neepawa itself, the Touchwood Park Association continues to grow. Following a deal that took place over several months, the organization is now the owner of 18 more housing units. 8 of those units are located on Hospital Street, with the remaining 10 on Bourke Street. This deal was particularly unique due to the unit's histories within the town. Following the completion of Neepawa's then new hospital in 1951, Reverend W.A. Osborne assisted a committee in gaining the attention of the Manitoba Conference of the United Church of Canada. The governors of the old hospital agreed to turn the building over to the United Church for the sum of $1 in order to convert it into a home for senior citizens. 1 decade later, the very same Bourke Street units Touchwood purchased today would be completed as an addition within the vicinity of the home. The Hospital Street units were also property of the United Church. We thought it was probably going to be a little complicated because it not only had to go through the local levels of the United Church here, it also had to go through Manitoba and back into Ontario. But it went well. We had no issues at all. They took the recommendations of the volunteer board here that's run it for a very long period of time, said Touchwood board chair member Blake McCutcheon. The United Church board, he said, was extremely pleased that we got the units. They recommended us for the deal, and they were very happy that we took it on. And it continues to say, McCutcheon told the Banner and Press that Touchwood had a couple of reasons for being interested in the Bourke and hospital housing units. The first was that Neepawa is a town that's in a huge growth spurt with housing at a premium, whether it be a house or apartments. He said, we serve adults with intellectual and physical disabilities, and the government of Manitoba is actually starting to ask organizations like Touchwood Park to take a bigger role in supporting individuals in the community. We do a lot in our group homes, but they're thinking on a bigger scale now that we can actually handle more individuals if they can actually live independently, he said. Of course, that means they have to reside in a place. This factor, combined with the second affordable housing, the Touchwood board and administration agreed that the deal would make a good investment on a going forward basis. Additionally, they had concerns of the units potentially being sold and not kept in the realm of affordable housing. Altogether, these two considerations made the now closed approximately $350,000 deal appealing. McCutcheon relayed, we wondered what would happen to the people that live there. Touchwood's been part of the community now for well over 50 years, and we want to give back to the community. The community's always been so good to us. So this was an area we felt we could help our adults with intellectual disabilities, but also maintain that affordable housing for the segment of the Neepawa population that needs it. In keeping with this line of thought, Touchwood and the United Church Board struck up a deal dictating that 50% of the available units could be used for Touchwood residents, with the other 50% remaining available to people in the community who need an affordable living space. Currently, Touchwood has 2 residents housed in the units, which were officially transferred to Touchwood possession on November the 1st. The United Church units deal isn't the only change for the organization this year. McCutcheon provided the Banner and Press with a brief update on the progress of Touchwood's new day program building. The building, a 25-year dream for the organization, is a 9,000 square foot building that will provide Touchwood with its residents with 21st century opportunities. The old program building, originally a war building from Portage La Prairie, is lacking wheelchair accessibility and doesn't exactly have all the bells and whistles. It's a spectacular building we've got coming. It'll provide our individuals with the opportunity to lead the kind of lives they want. This will be a big boost to that, McCutcheon expressed. This is also why we saw the United Church units as a good marriage, because the government is going to send more individuals our way with these new facilities. The new building is currently on track to allow possession by March, and while the original plan for the old building was demolition, it will temporarily be kept. Due to COVID-19 requiring social distancing and other measures to help ensure safety, An agreement was made with the local building inspector for temporary usage at this time. We need to keep everybody safe and secure, said McCutcheon. Minnedosa-based online program offers the world to youngsters. A new computer application with local roots is offering kids the chance to virtually visit a brand new country each and every week. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many schools have had to alter their education options for children, adding Zoom classes and remote learning. This has created a few new challenges when it comes to learning. So one industrious parent from Minnedosa decided to do something about it. Dave Tournier has created a new online learning tool known as Country of the Week, or COTW. The program, which is a subscription-based service, provides a weekly introduction on a specific country, along with printable activity sheets and video recommendations. Tournier also explained that it enables kids to explore foreign countries and learn about other cultures from the safety of their own homes. As our young daughters, Marika and Kiana, began kindergarten and grade 1, a series of life events and the tone of the news made me realize something. I had to ensure our girls would want to explore the world, not hide from it. I wanted them to know how neat the world was, explained Tournier. From that moment of revelation, Tournier began to work on the initial concept. He began researching nations from across the globe, creating colorful and fact-filled profile sheets on each of them and hanging them next to the family's big world map. The next step was the establishment of the website, which went live in the spring, just as the situation surrounding COVID-19 began to take hold. Tournier said his daughters took to this new learning option quickly, leading him to believe it could have a much broader appeal. That faith in the product seemed to have been well-founded. User interest has been really encouraging, and at this time, membership is growing, with members in Canada, the United States, England, and Australia. There is even a lovely family in Nairobi, Kenya, that happened to hear about it and are now happily 35 weeks into the program, stressed Tournier. He also noted that he is very happy to see how the online program has helped to both educate children and open their eyes to the value of world travel. Response from people has honestly been really wonderful. The girls and I love getting random emails of photos that people send us of their family adventures with COTW. Getting these tiny glimpses into family moments that have helped because of COTW is just so rewarding to us, said Tournier. I wanted them to know that we are not a world apart from each other. We are all so much closer than we think. And travel, whether in a literal or virtual sense, is one of the best ways to help us better understand and appreciate what's good about the world. Additional information on the learning program can be found online at www.countryoftheweek.world. Manitoba Public Insurance to issue second round of rebate checks to policy holders. For the second time this year, Manitoba Public Insurance, or MPI, will be providing immediate financial relief to its policyholders, Crown Services Minister Jeff Wharton announced today. MPI customers will receive a total of $69 million, which is about $100 per policy holder. This is in addition to the previous rebate of $110 million in May of this year and the corporation's recent request of an 8.8% overall rate decrease in its general rate application to the Public Utilities Board, or PUB. As this pandemic progresses, Manitobans continue to be financially impacted by this crisis, said Wharton. This second rebate will assist Manitobans as we all work together in getting through this challenging time in our province. Policyholders can expect a rebate check at the end of December or early January, said Wharton, adding it is estimated about $675,000 checks will be issued. This second rebate was made possible by the combination of fewer collision claims, about 20% lower from mid-March to the end of October compared to the previous year, and MPI's forecast of collision frequency remaining favorable into the spring. Rebates will be based on what policyholders paid during this period and is expected to be about 6% of their annual basic Autopack premium. As a proud Manitoba corporation, we are pleased with what we can do to help during this unprecedented time, said Satvir Jatana, acting CEO and President, Manitoba Public Insurance. This rebate to our customers is a combination of fewer claims and our continued focus on fiscal prudence. MPI continues to operate in a high efficient manner aimed at delivering value to Manitobans. Our financial responsibility is reflected in our daily running of our operations and practices. Jatana explained that this second rebate should not have an adverse effect on MPI's financial outcomes moving forward, and request for an overall 8.8% decrease application to the PUB. If approved, customers will pay on average about $110 less in premium. The new rates will take effect April 1st, 2021. Under existing legislation, this rebate requires the approval of the PUB. MPI will apply to the PUB in the coming days. Details of the second rebate will be made in the coming weeks, and further details will be available at www.mpi.mb.ca/pages/home.aspx. There has been an ongoing article about Freshie Days, past and present. This is part 4. Should NACI maintain or abolish Freshie Day? NACI should maintain Freshie Day activities. NACI has very little school spirit now, and if it wants to maintain what little it has, I think a day such as Freshie Day should be one of the highlights of the school year. I realize that some of the tasks that the Freshies have to perform are ridiculous and maybe unwise, but we seniors had to do the same things a few years ago. One rule which I do think is wise is the no riding on cars. Another of the rules which I do think is not called for is the one which states that the Freshie does not have to meet his sponsor until 8 o'clock. Because of this, many of the initiators had little time to make their Freshies perform tasks such as cleaning shoes and measuring sidewalks and singing to the pedestrians. I don't think Freshie Day will be remembered as well this year because the Freshies will not be able to look back and say that was the day I had to get up at 6:30 or I've never done so many crazy things before, mainly because they didn't have the time. I think Freshie Day is one of the days which should be looked upon as a stepping stone in high school life, for when one can take a little bit of ribbing and can face up to certain types of good-natured ridicule, then one is beginning to mature. Why let the future Freshies have a soft road paved for them? They have to grow up too. This was written by Edna Sinclair. That was someone that's for Freshie Day. Now this is someone, no name attached, that is against Freshie Day. The Neepawa Area Collegiate should cancel Freshie Day activities. I would like to point out my reasons why Freshie Day activities should be canceled. Firstly, our Freshie Day has been ruined by the squeezing of 6 classes into a period of time for 4 classes. By this I mean that instead of having 4 classes of 40 minutes duration, we have 6 classes of 30 minutes each. This makes more homework for all concerned. What is Freshie Day if it isn't for a small amount of fun and a change of atmosphere? Can we have this when homework is pressed on us? Certainly each teacher does not feel he or she is assigning too much homework, but when it is put together, it amounts to quite a sum. Teachers say just do these 12 history questions, preview the next poem, read this essay, translate the first 6 pages of French, and have these math questions done for next period. Is this a day of fun and enjoyment? I should say not. Secondly, is Freshie Day truly enjoyed? The Freshies are petrified for torture hour. As a result, they are so busy behaving themselves in the morning that they do not enjoy it. The sponsors are running all over town looking for costumes. Some don't even bother to find a costume for their Freshie. This is not what I would classify as school spirit. I say cancel Freshie Day activities, as they are a waste of time. Neepawa and Area 4-H Beef Club looking at planning virtual events. The Neepawa and Area 4-H Beef Club held its reorganization meeting November the 22nd virtually using Zoom. It was great seeing all of us, even if it was on the computer screen. This year we have 15 excited members. Dallas Robertson and Shelley Bjornson are our head leaders. We held our office election by using Google Docs for voting prior to our meeting. Our executive this year is President Cora Baker, Vice President Madison Robertson, Secretary Ashley Dyke, Treasurer Carson Baker, Club Reporter Sviena Bjornson, Scrapbooker Quinn Sawchuk. Due to COVID-19 and the current Code Red restrictions we are in, we talked about doing lots of things virtually. One of these is our public speaking, which is going to take place February 1st. We are asking that all members prepare a speech or visual like any other year. However, this year we are going to do it virtually. This means that members are to record themselves or possibly do it over Zoom. Keep your eye on our Facebook page for more information closer to the date. The members will not be officially placed, but will get a judge to give feedback to each member. Our club is very grateful for the $500 donation from Beautiful Plains Community Foundation. Thank you so very much. Neepawa's Junior A Club up on their online sales efforts. Manitoba's COVID-19 restrictions have stymied the sales efforts of a lot of businesses, including Neepawa's Junior A Hockey Club. But despite that, the team is still doing what it can to keep its broad brand front and center. The organization recently shifted all of its merchandise from the Yellowhead Arena to 243 Hamilton Street. It has also increased its use of online social media to inform the public of its available stock. Board member Landon Cameron, who has been instrumental in the retail portion of the hockey club's efforts this year, said these changes were essential during the current pause in play. He said, "I think it's something that had to be done. It's one way some revenue can keep flowing." The Under Armour product logoed up very nicely with a lot of assistance from Annette Waldner at promo time. Lots of product available just in time for people to show their support for the natives at Christmas time. Meanwhile, marketing manager Derek Pearson said that the amount of interest that they've seen recently has been a pleasant surprise. We're getting daily inquiries, and not just locally. We have people contact us from Saskatchewan, Ontario, and even from the States. It's keeping us busy, noted Pearson. He also added that increase to the club's online presence has drawn the attention of the sports collectors community. He said a large number of puck and jersey collectors have reached out to the team and that they're doing what they can to fill out requests. Anyone interested in merchandise can contact the hockey team by email at npanatives.marketing@gmail.com or by calling 431-351-2274. Spruce Plains RCMP report, week of November 23rd to 29th. During the week of November 23rd to the 29th, Spruce Plains RCMP dealt with 48 police activities. November 23rd, RCMP responded to a commercial alarm in the town of Gladstone. Everything was found to be secure with no signs of entry. Police received a report of assault in the town of Rapid City. November 24th, RCMP received a report of a suspicious person in the RM of Minto O'Donnell and a report of fraud in the town of Gladstone. Police conducted a traffic stop in the municipality of Westlake, Gladstone, and as a result, found the driver to be impaired. The driver was arrested and charged accordingly. November 25th, RCMP responded to a report of a missing child in the town of Kelwood. After an extensive search, the child was located without incident. Police received a report of vehicle vandalism in the town of Neepawa. The matter is still under investigation. November 26th, RCMP assisted sheriff officers to keep the peace with an eviction in the town of Minnedosa. Police received a report of a vehicle versus deer collision in the RM of Minto O'Donnell. The driver was uninjured. November 27th, RCMP received 2 fraud complaints in the town of Neepawa. For both matters, there was insufficient evidence to proceed further. Police responded to a commercial alarm in the town of Neepawa, which was found to have been set off accidentally. Police received a report of a residential break-and-enter in the town of Gladstone, which was determined to be unfounded. November 28th, RCMP responded to a residential fire in the town of Minnedosa. There were no injuries and minor damage to the residents. Police received a report of a commercial alarm in the town of Gladstone that was later determined to be false. November 29th, RCMP conducted a COVID compliance check on a Neepawa resident. All persons were found to be abiding by the quarantine regulations. RCMP conducted 28 traffic enforcement actions during this reporting period. If you have any information about these crimes or any other crimes, please contact your local office, RCMP office, or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Neepawa and Minnedosa RCMP detachments advise they will be limiting front counter services at the detachments until further notice. We request that you contact each detachment at Neepawa 204-476-7340 or Minnedosa 204-867-2916 to inquire about criminal record checks or to file a report. Leave a message if needed and it will be checked the following business day. Do not leave a message if you require immediate police assistance. You must dial Neepawa 204-476-7338, Minnedosa 204-867-2751, or 911 to have a police officer respond to you promptly. There's some pictures of Lake Irwin here. The aeration has started on Lake Irwin, and the Neepawa Wildlife Association would like to remind everyone to be careful. Stay away from open water, which is mostly on the north side of the lake. Since aeration started, the open water has increased. While the homemade rink in this picture near the shore is still ice, farther away from the shore you can see where the ice has thinned and open water has appeared. Signs are now up at the lake to warn people that aeration has started and there is thin ice on the lake. And this whole page is dedicated to the Rotary online auction, which starts today, December 3rd, till December 10th. It is a major fundraiser of the Neepawa Rotary Club. The proceeds to assist Neepawa and area schools upgrade remote learning technologies, along with other community and international projects. The auction format has been changed from a TV auction to an online format to meet health guidelines due to COVID-19. To view items online and to register to bid on items, go to https://neepawa.charity/ auctions.ca. And for Carberry North Cypress Langford news, the Carberry community profile is on Jamie Holland. Jamie Holland, 17 years of age, is a member of the 2021 Carberry graduation class with an honor roll average of 93%. Very sports-minded, she is a standout in fastball and volleyball. Jamie has played a variety of positions with the Cougars and was with the 2019 Zone 7 volleyball banner winners. In club volleyball, the Brandon University Cats program, Jamie has excelled under coach Kevin Neufeld and attended the Nationals in Edmonton with the under 15 and under 16 teams. This fall, she attended a volleyball clinic in Tuxedo with coaches Mike Burchuk and Rick Scott, who recruited her to assist them with younger participants. The under 18 Cats group has a strong team this year and won their first MVA tournament in Dakota Collegiate in September. Jamie hopes that they can start up again in January. Holland also really enjoys fastball, where she stars at third base or on the mound, but does play most positions. Her grade 12 class is loaded with good athletes, and she hopes the Cougars will be allowed to play in the spring. Jamie did enjoy playing an abbreviated 2020 season with Glenborough and coach Angie Goodnesson. She did play the clarinet in grades 7 to 10 for the school bands and served on the student council in grade 9 and 10. Her part-time work includes a lot of hours at the East End service, co-owned by her dad, Chris, whom she respects highly for his work ethic. Jamie is also quite close to her brother, Taylor, a Brandon University student, and is his #1 curling supporter. Future plans are uncertain due to COVID-19, but she may take some Brandon University courses or take a year off to work next year. And for Gladwin Scots here and there. Carberry Council briefs. Increased assistant lifeguard wages. Hired Betty Jackson for a term booth supervisor position. Received $8,181 from the Manitoba Infrastructure Fund for snow removal on Main Street. Hired Smart Electric to provide transfer station light for $6,060.76. Granted $50 to RJ Wow fundraiser. Purchased Quinoa Christmas tree for $392. Agreed to pay Hydro $467 each for 9 poles along First Avenue walking trails, which are proving very popular. Team Mike McEwen with 3rd Reed Carruthers, 2nd Derek Samagalski, and lead Colin Hodson won the Ashley Home Store Curling Classic Final 6-3 over Glenn Howard in Penticton, BC, and $38,000 prize money November the 16th. Derek Samagalski, who lives in Carberry with wife Selena and 2-year-old daughter Decker, works for Sand Hills Golf and Country Club in the summer. Team McEwen went 4-1 in pool play and had 3 playoff wins, including 4-2 over BC's Stephen Laycock and 6-4 over Alberta's Kevin Cooey. He said, "It's tough. All of us do this for a living. The Penticton event was world class all the way." Colin Hodson, who is co-owner of Dynasty Curling, designs clothing for Scotties and Briar events, manages the Red Lake Golf and Country Club. Schools in Hanover School Division, Steinbach and area have been sent to remote learning due to rapid rise in COVID-19 cases. The outdoor classroom, which includes 7 concrete tables and 1 wheelchair accessible table, located on the west side of RJ Waugh, has been completed. The outdoor classroom creates an appropriate additional learning space for our students in an outdoor environment, said Principal Dana Galatiak. It also allows for an alternate space for students to socialize during recess breaks while maintaining social distancing requirements. The total cost of the 8 tables with installation was $17,500. This cost was covered by the provincial government's COVID-19 emergency $70,000 grant to the local foundation. Although Manitoba hockey teams are currently in lockdown, there is some activity in coaching. Brandon Wheat King's coach, Dave Lowry, has accepted an assistant coaching position with the Winnipeg Jets, and Don McGilvery has been elevated from his 4-year role as assistant to head coach of the Wheaties. The Flin Flon Bombers of the 12-team SJHL have shut down operations for 2020. They cannot play in Manitoba's red zone restrictions and have not received permission from Saskatchewan Health to move their practices and games to Creighton, a few miles west of Flin Flon. Fred Saskamoose, age 86, one of the first Indigenous hockey players to play in the NHL with the Chicago Blackhawks 1953-54, has passed away in Prince Albert due to COVID-19. Cam Blight, Reeve of the RM of Portage La Prairie, was elected unopposed as president of the 137-member Association of Manitoba Municipalities at their virtual annual meeting with 700 members present. He succeeds Ralph Groening, RM of Morris Reeve. Premier Brian Pallister addressed the meeting virtually, and most cabinet members were available for questions. Our Agassiz MLA, Eileen Clark, and former vice president of the Municipal Association, was unable to attend as she is recuperating at home in Gladstone from a broken ankle sustained at the Legislative Building. RCMP are investigating a Carberry break-and-enter, and they have a picture here, with a masked and hooded intruder illegally entering the IDA Falk Pharmacy located in Carberry on November the 18th. It happened at approximately 10 to 4 in the morning. Carberry RCMP responded to an alarm at a business on Main Street in the town of Carberry. The officer arrived within minutes, but the lone suspect had already left the scene. A patrol of the town was conducted, but the suspect was not located. The suspect was captured on video surveillance, forcing entry through the front door, causing damage, and fled the scene on foot out the back door. The individual appears to have left empty-handed shortly after the alarm sounded. The lone suspect was wearing a blue hoodie, gray pants, a baseball cap with a white bill, with the hood pulled over top of the cap, and a dark ski mask and gloves. RCMP are asking anyone with information to call Carberry RCMP at 204-834-2905, Crime Stoppers anonymously at 1-800-222-8474, or secure tip online at www.manitobacrimestoppers.com. Keeping Spirits Bright campaign supports relief for homelessness. On December 4th, the YWCA Brandon kicked off the 5th annual Fusion Credit Union Keeping Spirits Bright campaign to raise money and awareness for homelessness and domestic violence during the holiday season. Every year since 2016, a tree is placed in the front yard of Meredith Place with purple lights, and the more money raised during the campaign, the more lights get turned on. Addictions, homelessness, and domestic violence are a daily struggle for many in our community, and the holiday season can be even harder on them. The Fusion Credit Union Keeping Spirits Bright campaign kicked off with a check presentation and virtual tree lighting ceremony live on our event Facebook page December 1st at Meredith Place, 148 8th Street. This kicked off Giving Tuesday and our new 2020 month-long walk/run challenge ending December the 31st. Each registered walker/runner will keep track of the number of kilometers, and the person with the most kilometers walked will win the top prize. Also, a number of schools in Westman will be competing to win $500. We have partnered with some schools in Westman with a phys ed/fundraising challenge, including Erickson Elementary, who are hoping to win over $500 in cash for their school. The school to walk/run the most kilometers December 18th will win $500 cash for their school, plus any money they raise in the fundraising, we will give back 20%. To register or donate online, go to www.ywcabrandon.ca/events. 211 Manitoba launches new phone line. An important information service has now expanded to offer support over the phone. 211 Manitoba, which has been operating as an online database since 2017, launched their phone line on October 15th, offering an alternative way to find support services in communities across the province. 211 Manitoba is an initiative administered by the United Way Winnipeg in cooperation with Volunteer Manitoba, primarily funded by United Way Winnipeg donations. Daria Lukey, 211 Manitoba Director at United Way Winnipeg, explained, 211 Manitoba, we like to say, is the front door to community-based government, health, and social services. She added that the services are available 24/7, 365 days a year in 150 languages. The purpose of 211 is to connect people with service providers in their area to help meet their needs. This includes everything from physical and mental health services to housing, to food, to employment services, to senior services, and even help for newcomers to Canada. Right now, they also offer extensive COVID-19 resources with information on how to get a test referral, how to get access to government funding if you're impacted financially, the COVID Alert app, and more. The online database for 211 Manitoba has over 5,000 services listed. Organizations can submit their information to be included in the database. Lukey added that they do have staff whose main focus is reaching out to service organizations to get them added to the list and to make sure information on the database is up to date. The up-to-date piece is the most important, she noted, especially during the pandemic, when it's hard to keep track of what places are still open. While the website is very helpful, if you know exactly what kind of service you're looking for, Lukey noted that the phone line goes above and beyond to help people find assistance they maybe didn't even realize they needed. It's really important to know that 211 really goes above and beyond a helpline, she stressed. The call center staff are all trained professionals certified with the Alliance of Information and Referral Systems. The staff have knowledge about mental health support and suicide prevention and are trained to be able to paint a picture of services available to help people get what they need. For example, Lukey noted if someone called to ask about finding a food bank, the staff would ask them if this is a one-time need or ongoing. They would also ask if the person needs access to a food bank because of unemployment and refer them to employment services. Lukey added that the staff will even go as far as to help the caller get set up with the services they need. We like to say when you don't know where to turn to 211, Lukey stated. Not only is the 211 service valuable to Manitobans, but the data Lukey shared, it appears it's also needed. She shared that there have been over 200,000 people use the website in Manitoba, and between October 15th and November 23rd, there have been 1,376 calls made to the call center. There are lots of benefits to the call center, she said. She also noted that it will be able to help reduce the burden on other emergency and informational phone lines. She explained a lot of people call 911 when they probably shouldn't, adding that last year about 40% of 911 calls weren't actually emergencies. If those who need non-urgent assistance called 211 instead, it would free up emergency responders to attend more urgent emergencies while still getting those people the help they need. In other provinces, the 211 helpline has also been instrumental in supporting crisis and disaster victims to help them figure out where to go if they're being evacuated, how to get help if their home has been flooded or damaged by a tornado. While that hasn't been something 211 Manitoba has had to deal with yet, Lukey noted that they will be ready and available to help in a situation like that. If anyone would like to access 211 Manitoba's services, visit their website at mb211.ca or dial 211 to reach their trained staff on the phone line. And the last bit of information here is a picture. It's really cute. It's called A Frosty Family. A mystery sculptor created these snowmen at the Lions River Bend Park campground. The portrait family was taken on Tuesday, December the 1st. It's probably melted by now. Anyways, that is it for this week's edition of the Neepawa Banner and Press, and we'll see you next week.